Hello everyone, it's Sway Givey with another Letters to an Asexual. This is number 93. I hope y'all are doing all right. Listen, I want to talk to you about something, and it is the concept that we as asexual people who fight back against detractors or respond to negative comments are destroying our cause by being aggressive or not catering to the people who come into our inboxes and into our lives, demanding education, demanding justification, and then get real downright upset if we're not super nice about it, even if they're attacking us. So I have two examples of people claiming that we're damaging our cause by the way that we act if we respond to them with anything other than total kid gloves. So the first one I would like to share was just one exchange. It was a YouTube comment, and this person said, "I'm waiting for someone to change my mind. I met a girl who passive-aggressively came out as ace. She said our feelings were mutual and I tried to initiate a kiss. Then she came out. It was done over a text the following day when she came out. Her last words basically was ultimatum to keep or end of the initial friendship over a text. I have never had a better image of aces since then. She did say in the message, kissing and cuddling make me physically unwell. What could that mean? I think if it's something that makes you physically unwell, it sounds traumatic. She was introverted, and I have not met an ace who isn't, honestly. And the last thing, do people still ask you for dates?" I responded and said, "I don't know, man. I think if you come right out of the gate saying you had a bad experience with one ace, and now you judge all aces based on her behavior, I don't know what my incentive is to change your mind. You've made it clear you're already biased against us, and you don't have any qualms about saying you judge all of us as if she is our elected spokesperson. I feel like it's kind of a lost cause. I create educational materials for you to figure out what asexuality is and how it manifests if you choose to learn about it. I certainly am not going to respond well to someone who says, I am approaching this conversation with specific beliefs about everyone like you, based on my own very limited experiences. It doesn't give me much confidence that I'm being listened to, honestly. So it doesn't encourage me to put my own emotional labor into changing your mind. But imagine this. If you were a straight man, but the society you lived in since birth pushed you to think you had to find fulfillment with other men. You've never heard straight as an option. You've only heard gay. So you found yourself kissing and cuddling other men, and you felt unwell because of it due to being straight. But then one day you found out being straight exists and felt empowered to tell others about it, only to be given the side eye and told kissing and cuddling should not make you feel unwell unless you were actually just traumatized. If you're not attracted to someone, often kissing and cuddling them in an intimate fashion absolutely does not feel safe or comfortable. And it's really awful to hear you say you can't see feeling unwell in that situation as anything but an expression of trauma. So that was maybe a little digression into some other issues that we deal with as well, but you see how this person approached me saying, well, I had this experience with one person and now I'm waiting for a counterexample, and I'm going to come into your inbox and say, prove me wrong. This person did this and I don't think it was right. So here is another example of someone who had a bad experience with me and basically told me straight up that this is how they are going to set the stage for all future interactions with ace people because I have made them seem so ridiculous and awful. So let's see. This person commented on my asexual bingo video all those years ago and said, "You seem a little irate and frustrated, LOL." So, and if you haven't seen that video, it is pretty old. If you haven't seen that video, it includes a lot of the worst comments that I've ever gotten, including death threats and rape threats. So, gee, I wonder why I was irate or frustrated with that. It's just normal interaction with people on the internet, right? Death threats and rape threats? Come on. So I replied to him and said, really? I would have thought the normal response to people mocking you, denying your existence, and threatening to rape you would be cheery nonchalance. And the following response he came back with was this. Have you ever thought fire on fire just makes a bigger fire? Perhaps if people mocking you, denying your existence, and threatening to rape you actually bothers you, maybe you're not the best choice to represent asexuals. I mean, if I was to base everything I know about asexuals, everything from your videos, I would have to say all the asexuals I know, you and the people in your videos, are nothing more than a contemptuous, resentful wretches. So, here I come again. Oh, so if people are being asshats, it's a failing on my part to call them out and make them feel bad about it. Gotcha. It's kind of sad that you see contemptible wretches in people who are challenging the idea that we deserve to be shamed, mocked, threatened, and erased, but I guess you'll see what you want to see. I think irritation and frustration is pretty normal, considering this is a showcase of all the most ignorant comments I've gotten. But I guess my job as the minority is to behave. I've seen this many times. If someone points out that this treatment is outrageous, and therefore deserving of outrage, the majority, who is made uncomfortable by our challenging their privilege, starts wagging their little fingers and telling us we really just shouldn't be so angry, or it'll be our fault people hate us. Your position here is laughable and overused. Look up the "you're damaging your cause by being angry" on Derailing for Dummies, and you'll see documentation of what you're doing. I blocked him because I don't really need to have this conversation again, but I should have known better because, of course, he came back on another account. And he says, nice blocking. Well, good luck with that rage. Hope it keeps you warm at night. As you stated, there won't be another to do it. So you're right, you are a minority, being the first I've heard of, and being so hateful. And such a small minority, you and your kind will puff out of existence. Also, since I don't care for contemptuous people, your cause in my mind, like you and your kind, people in your videos, are obscure and insignificant. No wonder you have to go to a website to find friends. And incidentally, the website to find friends he was talking about was OkCupid, where I've met many of my friends. But I guess he thought I should somehow be ashamed of my presence there, even though I mention it everywhere, including in the video that he was commenting on. So I wrote back one more time. I said, I see. Any response constitutes rage. You're really terrible at this, especially since you're trying so hard to shame me, throwing things that you really hope will hurt me in my face, keep warm at night, you don't have friends, etc. I'm sorry you're so threatened by our existence, but it's really not my problem that people who don't think like you scare you so much. Your assumptions just show how insecure you are. You can stay ignorant about asexuality. Your lack of acceptance isn't punishing us. And he decided not to make more accounts to come back and yell at me some more, so that was the end of that after I blocked his second account. So, let me know in the comments if you've experienced this, if you've basically been told after someone attacked you and said something really just disgusting or dismissive or laughed at you or mocked you, and then you responded with what's pretty reasonable, being taken aback or defending yourself, and then they're like, oh, you're so angry, how do you expect anybody to take you seriously if you're always going to act like that? Not taking into account that we are reacting to something that they did first. It's not something that we just came out of nowhere with this attitude, right? They are being reacted to. So feel free to share some of your experiences with this. This is a very, very, very common reaction that people have to all kinds of marginalized identities. So I imagine that some of you have some experiences with this, and you may see some other people in the comments who have had very similar experiences to what you've had. So let's get a discussion going, and you'll see that there are so many people who have had the same experience you've had if you've had this one. That'll wrap up this letter, and I will see you next time.